Oh, there's a Boo here. Come on up. I'm at my friend's house who I stayed with for a while. This is Boo. This is actually his girlfriend's cat. But I wanted to do a little update and then talk about something that kind of ties into my update. The first and the biggest update, the impossible has happened. I met Mark from Invisible People. It's amazing. He is the nicest guy in the history of ever. He came to me. As there's a cattail right there. But he actually came to my town. He had stuff he had to do. I'm not going to say what he had to do, but he had stuff he had to do about an hour and a half away. And then goes, hey, I'm done with the stuff I have to do. You want to come down, or I want to come down and see you. Let's go out to lunch. And we did, and he's amazing, and oh my god, and he's such a good hugger. Like, it was incredible. I was so giddy to actually be able to meet him. And it was hilarious, and I did tell him this part, because he messaged me, and he goes, where do you live again? And this was right after I had replied to somebody about a different thing about homelessness on Twitter, and I'm like, state? Minnesota. City? And I gave him my city, and he goes, well, I know which state. I'm gonna be in Minnesota tomorrow, and I want to meet you. Because that's the thing. We might, like, Mark is amazing. I absolutely adore him. And he is, like, he's so good. We had never met, and I've known him for almost 2 years now. And we had never met each other before. So it was so much fun. We went out to a really great restaurant here in town. And it was so much fun. Otherwise, another update. I am starting the process of doing bariatric surgery. Now, bariatric surgery is also weight loss surgery. And, I'm not doing it keyly or just for the weight loss. Like, the weight loss is a perk. Cute. But, I have this disease, I don't remember what the hell it's called, where I get cysts or abscesses in my armpits. And they get huge, and I need to get them lanced, or I need to get on antibiotics. It just it's not good. And, getting the weight loss surgery will help with that. So, that's why I'm doing it. The process, like, I'm gonna be talking to doctors about scheduling appointments on Monday. It's Friday now, so we're gonna... Which cat are you? Are you Janko? Janko? Yeah. But yeah, I'll be starting that process Monday. And also, I got a tooth pulled on Tuesday. Like, it was this week has been kind of insane. So I'm fully expecting some kind of joke to come out of this. My family has Neanderthal genetics. Like, we've got Neanderthal DNA in us. Which, if an ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend of mine watches this, they're gonna be like, well, duh. But, the thing with that is, we have wide jaws. So, we have all our wisdom teeth. Or, we had all our wisdom teeth. I think my brothers still have theirs, actually. I don't have all mine. One of my teeth broke. One of my wisdom teeth broke. And it was becoming infected, and it was starting to rot. And it was getting so painful that whenever I would lay on... Because it was on my right side... Whenever I would lay on my right side, it would hurt. Like, I put my head down, it would hurt like hell. So I called a place that I've gone to for other health reasons before. It was like, can I get an appointment kind of as soon as possible? They went, oh yeah, we'll get you, or we'll show this to our dental team, and we'll get you in as quick as we can. And that was on Monday. On Tuesday, it was so bad, like, it literally, nothing was helping. And so I called back and was like, can I just get an appointment just to get some pain medication? Just so I'm not going, oh my god, my head. And I actually spoke to the dental assistant, and she was like, if you can get here quickly, we will see if we can squeeze you in. And I was where I'm at now. And so I'm like, I can be there in 2 minutes. And I was there in 2 minutes, because it's quite literally if I take my time, it's 3 minutes. But I was there in 2. And they took an x-ray. they were like, just chill out here for a while, we'll see if we can get you in. And the dentist was able to get me in. And was very nice, except for he thought that I was a different patient who was pregnant. Because just before he did the Novocaine, he goes, and don't worry, the Novocaine is not going to hurt your baby. And I went, excuse me, what? And he's like, it won't hurt your baby at all. You know, you'll be fine. The baby will be fine. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, I am fat. I ain't that fat where you can confuse me for being pregnant. And the dental assistant jumps in. She's not the pregnant one. It's the other patient. And to his credit, he immediately, he apologized. He was like, I'm so sorry. I went, it's all good. You know, just remember, like, I'm sterile and I'm on birth control, so there ain't no babies. But yeah, so that's been kind of the last few weeks. But I want to go back to talking to Mark from Invisible People, who I adore and is amazing. And we were talking, and I told him how I started this channel and how I found Invisible People, which I don't think, I might have in my first video, but I don't think I've talked about how I found Invisible People. So if you go way back to my last video, or my first video, I was talking about being homeless and being employed and working 6 days a week and living in my car. I thought I was a rarity to the rules, because, and I will fully admit this till I'm blue in the face, I thought I had the same assumptions about homeless people as others did. I was very much like, homeless people are just lazy, they don't want to work, they just want all the free shit handed to them that they can, and that's not our responsibility as taxpayers, and blah blah blah. And I was very, very, and I will fully admit, I was ignorant about it. But then I became homeless, and I was working, and so I'm like, well, let me start doing some videos. And so I did a couple. I did 2 of them. The, like, free stuff on your birthday, and then homeless and employed. Or reverse that. Okay. Anyway. So, this is where I have to thank the YouTube algorithm. Because, you know, one day I'm just surfing YouTube, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have some fun, you know, gonna relax. And on my home page, it was, I think her name's Brenda, I think. She lives in Washington, D.C. I don't know if she's still homeless or not. But, it was Mark from Invisible People interviewing her. And the comments were kind of ruthless, because they were talking about how she's wearing makeup, so she really doesn't need the help, and all that. And I'm like, the hell? So I started watching a few more of his videos, and I'm like, whoa, I'm not the exception to the rule. There's a lot of people who deal with being homeless and working. Oh, okay. So I got in contact with Mark, and he invited me to join the homeless support group that I'm a part of, which I will be sharing. I will be linking this video in to the group. So hi, group. But I got to start talking to other people who are homeless or who are formerly homeless, and they were all saying very similar things. I want to work, or I am working, or something like that. And it didn't, like, they didn't have anywhere to live. And that started changing my perception. Like, yes, there are some homeless people who do drink, do drugs. I have a burp that's like right there. Who don't want to work and just want free stuff handed to them. They're more the exception to the rule than homeless people who are trying to get their life in order. And yeah, it's one of those things though that I was like, this is really interesting. But yeah, and actually I'm going to do one more topic, and this is a topic that I'm so glad that I don't make money off of YouTube, because I don't. I make $0, 0 cents from doing YouTube. This is just fun. But in case you haven't heard, a number of states have passed some of the most restrictive abortion laws that you can imagine. Like, some say that, you know, you can't have an abortion past 6 weeks of being pregnant. which is generally isn't when women find out that they're pregnant. They usually find out around 7-8 weeks, unless something's really wrong, which I will get into that part in a moment. Boo? Boo. Yeah, it is Boo. Okay. It's 2 black cats, so it throws me. But anyway, and they're saying that you can get like a life sentence if you do get an abortion. If you have a miscarriage, you can be charged with 2nd-degree murder, which I think is bullshit, because I'm okay. I am personally pro-life. Personally, that's just me. For me, like, if I found out I was pregnant tomorrow, I would not get an abortion, asterisk. But I am not going to tell every other woman in the U.S. that you can't get an abortion because I don't like them, because I don't. I really don't like abortions. And I think we can get rid of them to a degree, but I'll go into that in a minute. But, I mean, that would be like me saying, well, I don't like pickles, so nobody else can have pickles ever again, because I hate them, because I actually don't like pickles. But, yeah, I don't think that trying to ban abortion is a good idea. It is a form of healthcare. Now, I have an issue with people who get abortions left, right, and center, who use it as a form of birth control. But, in some cases, in all cases, I can understand it. But the biggest one is, but the reason I say asterisk, or I said asterisk for, if something goes, or, most women find out that they are pregnant after 6 weeks, like, usually around 7-8 weeks, and that I don't like abortion, unless it's, or I don't know, but basically, I've had an abortion. It was not a planned abortion, which I don't really think any are. It was an unplanned pregnancy. I was on the pill. Like, I was on birth control. And I had been dating a guy for not that long. We had used protection, and it didn't work. And I got an abortion. But I did not get an abortion because I was not ready to be a mother. I got an abortion because I had an ectopic pregnancy, which is, okay, so here are the ovaries. What the fuck, cat? Cat's like, I don't want to hear about this abortion shit. Then there's a fallopian tube, uterus. Baby is supposed to grow in the uterus. Ectopic pregnancies, they grow in the fallopian tube. And I was having unbearable pain one night, and it got to the point I had to go to the hospital. I was 5 weeks. And they did an ultrasound, found out that I was pregnant, found out that, it was ectopic, and I could have had a choice in the matter, but literally my choices were get an abortion, die. And that was 6 years ago? 7 years ago? 7 years ago, almost. And I'm here. And people love to try to tell me, oh, you're gonna regret your abortion. No, I regret getting pregnant, I regret getting pregnant at that time. But I don't regret it because I'm still here. I'm still kicking. And, there's a famous person, Busy Phillips. She has her own show, or had her own show. It's been canceled, but they're shopping it around other networks. And she went, and she brought up a good point. 1 in 4 women are going to have an abortion. And, you might think, well, I don't know anybody who's had an abortion, and I'm quoting her on this. Like, this isn't my original thought. But you know me. I had one, and like I said, I don't regret it. If it had been viable, yeah, I would have gone a different route. But I don't regret getting my abortion. And the thing that irritates the hell out of me is one state, which I don't remember which state, says if it's an ectopic pregnancy, they have to remove the fetus from the fallopian tube and put it in the uterus. Now, you might be thinking, well, where's the problem in that? That hasn't ever worked, is the thing. Like, I don't know, it's just, as a woman, it just feels like, getting, or like, my health my health is becoming more and more in control of other people, which I don't like. You know, especially when it comes to an unplanned pregnancy, it takes two to tango. Like, yes, women, you know, are the ones that carry it, but lesbians can't get pregnant for a reason. And it's just, I don't know. It's scary. And we definitely, I don't know if I've talked about this, I am a massive supporter of Planned Parenthood because they've helped me. Like, I had a cancer scare, and they got me tested, everything went great. I get my birth control there, I have the implant, and I got my birth control through I got that implanted through Planned Parenthood. I didn't have insurance at the time, and it would have been $1,200, and they covered it. That's freaking amazing. But the best way to get rid of abortion is several things. One, all the foster kids, find them homes. And I know what you're thinking, well, there's so many people who want to adopt. Yeah, there are, but adoption is fucking expensive. Make it easier for people to adopt. Make it, you know, get those kids out of foster care. Two, have better access to birth control, affordable birth control. Because like I said, a thing in my arm that is literally that big and that thin would have cost me $1,200 if it wasn't for somewhere like Planned Parenthood. Which, there was a third one. There was a third one, I swear. Oh, yes. 3. Make sex education not just abstinence only for teaching kids about sex. Because that doesn't work. Like, I had a teacher in middle school, my health teacher. She did teach us abstinence only. And she also taught us about condoms, about birth control, about all these other ways to not get pregnant and not get STDs. And that's really good. And we need those things. Because abortion rates have been on the decline since Roe v. Wade came out, or since Roe v. Wade was made a law. And that women are women have access to safe and legal abortions. And I swear to God, if I even get comments about, there's no such thing as a safe abortion. It's safe for the mother. And while, yes, I do agree that, you know, some places can be, you know, sometimes adoption can be the best. Think about it. You're growing a life inside of you, and then you have to go through hours of painful birth, or painful labor, to give birth, or you have to get your stomach cut wide open, get your intestines and all that shit moved out, probably not the intestines part, but you have to get all this stuff, like, taken out, and you have to have, you know, a big scar, and you're not gonna take home that baby? Like, no, that's not how it works. And I guess to tie this all into housing, affordable housing would help so much, because there are so many women in poverty who might want to be moms, but they know they can't afford a kid because they have to pay way too much for housing. Okay. I'm gonna relax. Because my mouth is still, I mean, it's not as sore, and thankfully, like, there's no swelling. My cheek was out to here the other day. It was so poofy, and it was kind of hilarious because I was talking and I was all numbed up on Novocaine. But, yeah, I'm going to relax. Probably watch some YouTube while I'm uploading this. So, stay warm, because it's gonna be frickin' 40-something degrees tonight in Minnesota. And it's May. And it was 80 degrees yesterday. So, that's always interesting. But yeah, so stay warm, stay safe, and I will hopefully see you very soon. Bye.